Hello guys and welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about now potential tropical cyclone 4. So let's just get straight into it. Yes, it is finally formed and let's just get into the video. So as you see here, this is the current track set out for us. Uh as you see, it kind of moves in through the Florida Straits as a tropical depression, strengthens into a storm. Could intensification be likely once it gets into the Florida Straits? Of course. And would it become a tropical storm maybe earlier? Maybe. There's still a lot of things that could be happening right now, but we'll get into that portion of the video later. So right now, let's just map out our watches and warnings. Uh, okay, let's look at it. So we have tropical storm watches issued for far south Miami-Dade County and basically all of Tampa, Gainesville, not in that watch yet, but as they are extended inland, they could be issued too. Uh, yeah, basically all of Western Florida under some sort of watch or warning, and just a little bit of far south Miami-Dade right here, and the Keys right there also in that tropical storm watch. And now tropical storm warnings have been issued for Cape Coral and downward. And yeah, just basically all the way down into Monroe. And flood watches have also been issued as well for basically all of southern Florida, as increased rain chances will be definitely expected. So let's talk about this system. So this is potential tropical cyclone 4. Let's look at it on satellite. So as you see, it's just a big old rotating blob of thunderstorms and strong winds. Right now it's going through Cuba, right towards Camagüey, and basically just making its way west-northwest. Um, Still a lot of wobbles, a lot of things could happen. It happened with Ian, it happened with Idalia, it happens with these storms that a lot of these storms that they could potentially wobble a little more to the west, wobble a little more to the east, um, is definitely still uh, on play. So let's get into the infrared. As you see, the very dark colors are colder cloud tops and higher cloud tops. A lot of convection. This thing is bubbling. So yeah, a lot of storms. It's a pretty crappy day for Cuba. Uh, just everywhere in Cuba right now is just getting a lot of rain and wind. And as that makes its way through um through the straits, we don't know where it could go. We still have a couple of scenarios. It could move a little more to the east, kind of do something like that. I drew it very poorly, but excuse me, I'm drawing this on a mouse. And it could also move a little more to the west. It is definitely uncertain as of now. So, yeah, but nonetheless, a lot of bad weather throughout all of Florida, including South Florida and just the East Coast as well. You guys are not exempt from this. Uh, Conditions will actually be particularly maybe a little bit uh, on the downside as we're getting that right side. So let's say the storm is right there. Uh, then there's just gonna be these really bad bands of rain and wind and just squalls that are going to be making their way, which is probably why uh, Miami-Dade, well, South Miami-Dade is also in this as well. Could there be watches for the East Coast potentially? Uh, maybe if it moves a little more to the east in this direction. Um, they definitely could. So, but as of right now, nonetheless of a watch or a warning, bad impacts will be there for South Florida as well, and for Northern Florida, for Cedar Key, who just got whipped by Idalia last year, yet again will be facing a tropical disturbance, and yeah, impacts will be very bad there. Strong winds, heavy rain, and storm surge. So, and that goes for all of Western Florida. Um, yeah, just a lot of strong winds, a lot of rain. This will become a tropical storm according to the National Hurricane Center just about August 4th at 2 a.m. Um, and it will be named Debbie. Debbie is the next named storm on the list. Uh, so that's enough of the storm. Let's get into the models. So let's get into the spaghetti models. So this is the GFS. These are the GFS ensembles. It's kind of showing that west northwest trend, and kind of just making its way, kind of just what the NHC is doing right now. Uh, some sneaking their way into the Florida Straits and kind of making their way uh into there, but definitely a lot more certain than yesterday. Uh, so yeah, then let's get into the. Oh wait, I didn't even show it. My bad. Okay, so sorry, that's my bad. Um, okay, so let's put this. All right, this is the GFS model. Sorry about that. So as you see, it's kind of just making its way up. This is 24 hours from now. South Florida and Southwest Florida will start seeing impacts. Start seeing a lot of rain, wind. Um, so places like Miami, places like Fort Lauderdale, places like Naples, places like Fort Myers, places in South Florida as a whole, east or west, will be getting these uh these squally bands of rain and wind that are going to be making their way on Saturday, and then Sunday will be like now North Florida will be getting into the action. We'll start seeing some bands of rain and wind in there. Uh, So yeah, just models are really showing that west northwesterly pool, and yeah, and it's just kind of making its way through. Okay, now let's go to the Euro model. All right, let me stop sharing. Let me put GEPS. Okay, so now let's look at the GEPS model. So as you see here, taking a little more of a southerly trend before really going, taking this just a little bit more to the north. Instead of really hitting Cedar Key, it kind of hits like a little bit more. Um, and it's going a little bit more to the south. So instead of really going more west northwest, it's kind of going a little more in this sort of direction, kind of going down south a little bit, and then kind of just going and then taking that west northwest turn. Uh, and models are kind of scattered here. We got some, kind of hitting the Keys here around Miami. We got some going all the way out. One doing its own thing over here, just making its way through Louisiana. Still kind of getting that squash spider look to it. Um, and yeah, this is 24 hours from now, just making its way through the straits. This will be worse for South Florida because not only it's going to be getting that right side, it's getting the right front quadrant, which now makes this basically the strongest part of the storm headed straight for South Florida, Dade, and Broward counties. So, and the Keys, no matter what, you guys are gonna go through this. So, so yeah, it just makes its way through. Kind of a little bit more delayed in the turn, and then makes its merry way out to sea. So, and yeah, that is the European model. So, let's look at the actual forecast models from the GFS and the Euro. So, this is a GFS model. So, this is a new model run in progress. So, let's just go through the 12Z run. So, as you see, still just making its way through. A lot of rain piercing the southwestern Florida and just South Florida as a whole, and then makes landfall near Tampa actually, and then just goes out to sea, kind of takes a tour of the East Coast, and then this is obviously far out, but another one kind of hitting Texas. In that case, someone would be named Ernesto. I'm pretty sure that'd be the next name on the list. I'm pretty sure. So then let's get to Euro model. So let's just take this up. See, kind of doing the same thing as a GFS, a little more disheveled. Taking it a little bit more south, and then making its way through, just like the ensembles are saying, just like what the spaghetti models are saying, like everything is saying. So yeah, that was the European model. So obviously, all of Florida needs to be aware of this situation, as it could be potentially dire. A lot of pretty nasty storms making their way through Florida this weekend. So if you guys have any plans to go through Florida, I don't know, visit Texas instead. I don't know. They got good stuff there. So yeah, that's it for the video. It was pretty short. Just getting the thing done because at the same time, I need to be actually tracking this as well and monitoring this to make sure that this doesn't, become even more dire. So I'll see you guys on the flip side, and goodbye.